What up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something that similar to what I did before. We're doing a tournament style bracket to judge the best shonen anime. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Right before we jump into the bracket, you know how I always tell you guys, please leave a like down below if you guys enjoy these type of videos. It's greatly appreciated by me. I know it's really annoying to hear YouTubers like ask you this, but it actually is helpful. As well as subscribe if you guys want more content like this, or um like video game content or reaction content and that sort of thing. That also is incredibly helpful for me, as well as like hit the notification so you guys can get the chips up to when the video comes out. And yeah, so thank you guys so much, and let's jump right in. Okay, so as you guys can see, we're starting from the left side of the bracket over here. Well, this side, because that's the side I'm pointing. And we're gonna start off with what seems to be Dr. Stone versus Rurouni Kenshin. And this is a bit hard for me. I love Rurouni Kenshin. I watched all of it. I know that the creator of the manga did something extremely fucked up. And I'm not gonna, how do I say this, defend it. That, yeah, he deserves to be in jail for what they found him guilty of. For those that don't know, just look it up. You'll find it pretty easily. But yeah, um, I love Rurouni Kenshin. I love Kenshin as a character. I like Doctor Stone, right? Too. It's a great science shonen anime. Uh, but Doctor Stone sort of lost me around season 3. I haven't watched Doctor Stone in a while. So because of that, I'm gonna have to give it to Rurouni Kenshin, right, to pass on. Not because I don't like Doctor Stone. Don't get me wrong, guys. I absolutely love Doctor Stone, but I haven't been caught up. I stopped after season 2, mostly because I don't know. I just dropped off. Not because the anime or manga was bad. I just kind of like fell off because like my interest went to some other anime and stuff, and I kind of just forgot to go back and rewatch some stuff. So, but yeah, remember, guys, this list is purely my opinion. So if you guys are well within your right to be mad at it, I'm not gonna judge you for it, but just know it's my opinion. We have Demon Slayer or Black Butler. I haven't seen very much of Black Butler, so Demon Slayer is gonna pass on. No offense to Black Butler. All right, now Gintama with Boruto. Um, uh, Boruto would have been good, but they spent like the first 100 or so episodes of the anime being filler before they got to any substance in the manga. So because of that, it's not winning, and also it wasn't gonna win this fight because it's up against Gintama. I fucking love Gintama, man. In fact, I want to go back and rewatch Gintama. So Gintama passes on as the better shonen, or yeah, Blue Exorcist or Attack on Titan. Hmm. I love Blue Exorcist, right? So my bias is with Blue Exorcist. I love Rin Akumura. I love the story. Uh, the first season, I don't know. I think there was a problem with the first season. Something about it not following the manga to a T, and now it is with the new seasons coming out. I love Blue Exorcist, but I know it's like not for everybody. In fact, I don't think many people remember Blue Exorcist. I think many people watched Blue Exorcist and then sort of forgot about it. But yeah, this one clearly Attack on Titan is better. I also like it too, but in terms of the shonen, Attack on Titan is better. Okay, so we have Full Metal Alchemist versus Yu Yu Hakusho. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a great series. Yusuke is one of my favorite MCs ever. Like, he doesn't give a crap about anything. His hands are actually ready for everyone. For those that don't know, Yusuke does not give a crap about punching a girl, which is surprising. It's a really good show. The only thing that drops it for me is the ending with the tournament, him figuring out his dad, and the ending was too ambiguous. It did not leave me satisfied for how good it was. But Full Metal Alchemist, especially because it's Brotherhood, did do that. It 100% did do that. So, um, and I think a lot of you would agree with me that Full Metal Alchemist would edge out Yu Yu Hakusho a bit because it was that good. Brotherhood was that good. Okay, D Gray Man or Fire Force. Now, D Gray Man is a goddamn like hidden gem. I don't think very many people know about it. I might make a video on it to covering D Gray Man and about the story and stuff. I think that's a great idea. But yeah, it's a good one. It involves a lot about hunting demons and monsters, if I remember correctly. I think in terms it related to something. It's been a while since I watched D Gray Man. It's a really good story. It isn't long, but I don't remember if it actually had an actual ending. So um that might hurt it a bit. Though Fire Force, on the other hand, is actually fantastic. I actually really do like Fire Force a lot, right? Um, why wouldn't it be Fire Force? Not only is season 3, part 2 coming out um soon, so we get to finally end it because there's only going to be 3 seasons of it. It's not only a precursor to another anime on this list, so I'm gonna go with Fire Force with our boys from Company 8 and everybody involved. Fire Force moves on. Mostly because I don't think very many people remember D Gray Man. It's a really great show. For those that don't know about it, you guys should go watch it. I'm sure you guys will like it. Psyche K or Trigun. Now Trigun's a bit weird because I wouldn't consider it that much of a shonen. I think it's more of a jonin more than anything. Psyche K is in fact a shonen, and it's a comedy one at that. I love Trigun, but I think most people would think like most people have a problem with the animation and the story. Not many people like Trigun, despite it telling a pretty clear story for me at least, and the themes that it goes behind. But Psyche K is just way more enjoyable watch. Uh, as much as I love Trigun, I love rewatching Psyche K, dude. It's still funny, and the jokes do hold up a bit even now. I remember a lot of the time during the pandemic. I think I rewatched Psyche K 3 times in total in the pandemic with different people in my family and family members because I wanted to introduce them to it because it was that fucking good. So I'm gonna go with Psyche K to move on in the tournament. Oh, Beelzebub and Hunter x Hunter. Now, I think here I might make some people mad because I infinitely enjoyed Beelzebub way more than I did Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter, right? But Beelzebub just meant a lot more to me, considering it was like one of the many first animes that I watched in when I first got into anime back in middle school, right? But this is the better, like this thing about the best shonen, not I gotta be a little bit unbiased here, and not favorite. If it was about favoring, I would probably go Beelzebub, but because overall, I do think Hunter x Hunter has a better story structure, and it's written really well despite the author's health issues, and it's a shame that he's dealing with that because I think it's a really good story. And the Chimera Ant arc and a lot of the arcs were good. The only thing that I did not like about Hunter x Hunter was Hisoka. I fucking hate that guy. Um, those who watch the show know why. He's a creep. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter is a pretty good in terms of like the shonen and the better writing. Hunter x Hunter is going to pass here. Okay. Now into the round two on this side of the bracket, right? Round two. This side of the bracket. We have Rurouni Kenshin versus Demon Slayer. Now, do we want to go with um recency bias? If we're going with recency bias, I did watch the Demon Slayer movie. It was goddamn fantastic. Um, but does that make it better than Rurouni Kenshin, which is an older story and a really good one at that? I don't know. It's a tough one. They both involve swordsmanship, and they both deal with it pretty coolly. I love the sword fighting in both animes, and surprisingly, Rurouni Kenshin, especially not the newer one, is great. The newly animated series that brought it back is great, but the old one still holds up in terms of animation for me at least. Um, but I guess here, right, in terms of story and villain, I do think I'm gonna have to give it to Rurouni Kenshin. If it was a purely about based on animation and soundtrack, it'd go to Demon Slayer. But in terms of like story shonen wise, I'm considering the story too. I do think Rurouni Kenshin is a bit better than Demon Slayer, right? And Demon Slayer has a lot of hype behind it, but not because of the story. It's because of the a lot of it's because of the animation. So that's why Rurouni Kenshin's passing over Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer's, don't get me wrong, Demon Slayer is really good, but the animation for me is not enough. Especially how a lot of people hated the Hashira training arc. They called it the most ass season of Demon Slayer, and that alone tells you, because I don't think there was that many bad seasons in Rurouni Kenshin in terms of thing. Also, I just like Rurouni Kenshin as a story more. Gintama or Attack on Titan. Now this is a bit tricky. Gintama is, I think, one of the goats, one of the greatest shonen to ever be written in terms of like it being um a parody anime, parody shonen, because like Gintama parodies every type of anime, every anime that's ever been popular. Gintama has done a parody of. The thing that I loved about Gintama is that it was extremely funny, but when shit hit the fan, and the story got serious in Gintama, did it goddamn hit? And that's one of the many things that's beautiful about Gintama that you would never expect a comedy anime to have. The moments that this anime has in terms of like serious moments, it hits it out of the park. Like Shohei Otani levels of like the GOAT in terms of like how greatly executed it is. Gintama, I think, is just that good. I love Attack on Titan, but Attack on Titan had a lot of fumbles in the story, a lot of like plot holes. Even towards the end, the author didn't answer very many things that people wanted to get answered. There was still a lot of goddamn questions, and I'm gonna be honest, Gintama's ending actually did satisfy me when it actually did end. Uh, Attack on Titan's ending, as it wasn't that good, and it left no satisfaction. It was just, oh, war is a repeating cycle, which is like, I guess, a good thing, but is that really a satisfying ending? You basically hoed over a lot of the characters. You hoed over Aaron. Like Aaron was the fan favorite character in the series. You hoe him pretty hard, and then you choose to give him that ending. You choose to have him die instead of like, I don't know. Maybe I'm maybe I'm too optimistic, and I would like happy endings. But you didn't give him a happy ending, and if you were gonna give like a sad ending, you have to at least hit it a lot better than what it did. So in terms of that, I think Gintama hits it. It's way better as a shonen than Attack on Titan. And don't get me wrong, Attack on Titan was great overall, but in terms of like getting close to perfection, Gintama is just way more there than than Attack on Titan. Anybody who's seen Gintama will tell you. And again, you guys can go watch Gintama. I think it is dubbed too. I don't know how much of it is dubbed, but I think it is dubbed. So for those that watch dub, you can watch it dubbed. Uh, Fire Force. This is as far as you make it. Full Metal Alchemist is just like, again, in terms of like perfect story, right? Getting that close to the perfect shonen story. Um, Full Metal Alchemist is up there with Gintama in terms of like almost hitting it, almost getting close to the story. Also, it had a great ending. Fire Force has not ended yet. It's still ongoing. It's like on season 3, part 1, or core 1, if you want to call it that. Um, Psyche K is great. I love it, but we're gonna have to give it to Hunter x Hunter here. Hunter x Hunter passes on. All right, now we have Rurouni Kenshin or Gintama. Now this one's a bit difficult, right? Um, I love Rurouni Kenshin, but it's not a perfect story, like I was saying before. It does have some flaws. It isn't like crisp, perfect. Some might even say that it's not like it shouldn't have gone this far because of the author's thing, the author's sins. But I'm one that separate. I'm gonna separate the author's sins from the anime, from the story in the anime here. Uh, Either way, I do think Gintama. I enjoyed the hell out of Gintama a lot more than Rurouni Kenshin. And in fact, I think Gintama parodies Rurouni Kenshin a lot too. So I'm gonna go with that. We're going with Gintama to follow. Now this one's a bit tough, right? This one's hard. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, however you want to pronounce it. Um, they're both really good stories. One of them did have an ending, the other one does not. So that already gives the edge to Full Metal Alchemist in terms of that, because Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood did have a phenomenal ending and a really feel good one. Without like it feeling like a cop out or anything, it really was well written. In terms of like arcs and battle systems, I do think Hunter x Hunter beats it out. Uh, Characters, Full Metal Alchemist beats it out. So that's 3-2. Story, animation wise, I think Full Metal Alchemist beats it out. So yeah, I think for me personally here, this one's more of a personal preference. So you guys can choose Hunter x Hunter over Full Metal, but I'm gonna choose Full Metal over Hunter x Hunter because I just love that series way more than Hunter x Hunter. Gintama and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now these are both anime, S tier anime. Alongside with Hunter x Hunter and Attack on Titan. They're all S tier. And Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, almost all of these on here can be S tier. Uh, for some people. For here, this one I'm going with personal preference, right? Which one did I enjoy watching more? And as much as I love Gintama, Full Metal Alchemist just hit it, bro. Edward was such a badass, bro. Yeah, it just did a great job at telling a story. So we're gonna go with Full Metal Alchemist to move on. So we have Toriko versus One Piece. I've never seen Toriko, so I'm gonna go with One Piece. And I know that me saying that's probably a sin to some people. I'm like, you haven't seen Toriko? No, I haven't. I think my little sister has seen it, but I haven't, and I think I should probably watch it. But yeah, I'm gonna watch One Piece. I'm gonna pass One Piece forward. One Punch Man or Hitman Reborn. One Punch Man would have passed in terms of one of the best shonen, but season 2 and especially season 3. For those of you who have seen my short talking about season 3, especially season 3. Yeah, no. Hitman is, I love it as an entirety, bro. The only thing wrong with Hitman here is that it didn't get a good it did get a satisfying ending, but it didn't. There was way more story to tell from where it was at, and it didn't get a proper adaptation. But for we have, it's really fucking good. And I hope to God they bring it back just like they did Rurouni Kenshin, and they choose to reanimate it because I think it deserves that. Hitman deserves that. For those who haven't seen it, go watch Hitman. It's really good. My Hero or Fairy Tail. Jesus. There's a lot of people on both sides who would say the other anime is trash. You know, for this one, Fairy Tail does have a story, and it's really well told for what it is. A lot of people just don't like that there wasn't very many deaths in it. I think there was some death. There just wasn't enough deaths that they liked it. They felt like it was there was a lot of cop out, and people really, oh, the power of friendship type of thing. They didn't really like it. I personally don't hate the power of friendship because the whole damn story was about friendship. Was about um the guild. It was a story about a guild showing the world how strong people can be if they gather together in, with their bonds. That was the whole point of fairy tale, right? So for those that say, "Oh, fairy tale," no, the power of friendship makes sense within their world because because of what the Mashima was trying to tell, right? Then we have My Hero. My Hero is a great story too. It has its downs as well. Some people didn't like uh the arc the arc after the Airy arc. People didn't like that arc. They felt like it was too much downtime and not enough serious moments, despite them, they're still being high schoolers and they're in a high school anime. Um, for me, they're both good. They're both they're both near and dear to me. But Fairy Tail is more here. This one I'm going more for what I enjoyed more, and I enjoyed the hell out of Fairy Tail. I still rewatch Fairy Tail to this day. It was one of the, I think it was the second anime behind Sword Art Online that I watched in forever. And like when I first started watching anime. And some people would be like, "Wait, you watched Fairy Tail?" Yes, because I heard people talking about it in middle school, and I wanted to be a part of the fan group, so I watched it. So yeah, Fairy Tail means a lot more to me. It might not get past the second round, but we're moving it. Okay, so we have Magi and Seven Deadly Sins. Now we're going off anime, not manga. The manga is really good for Seven Deadly Sins. For those of you who are watching Seven Deadly Sins for the story, it's not a story driven show. It's a character driven show. The whole point of Seven Deadly Sins is watching the character growth of the characters. It was there was never like much of a story in Seven Deadly Sins to begin with. It was just putting obstacles in front of these characters and watching them grow. Magi. Magi was great though. I really do love Magi. Magi, on the other hand, does have a story. There is an overpowered protagonist in Sinbad. I did enjoy the hell out of it, so we're gonna pass Sinbad over Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins is good, but the anime committed a sin with those later seasons. God damn it, the animation was horrible. It was One Punch Man level bad. And if I'm docking points from One Punch Man for having horrible animation, I'm docking points from Seven Deadly Sins too. Inuyasha or Black Clover. Black Clover. I love Inuyasha. I did watch all of it, but I'm going Black Clover. JoJo's or Soul Eater. God, I wish these weren't the ones that were facing off against each other. I love them both. God, dude. Oh man, I didn't watch JoJo's. I only started watching JoJo's recently when I was in late high school. So uh I did watch Soul Eater back in middle school because it was already finished when I was in middle school. And Soul Eater again. You can argue that JoJo's has a better story or whatever. But I just love Soul Eater. Soul Eater is up there in terms of one of the best shonen. Dragon Ball, or they recently made a new anime about this. I did watch this. I just forgot the name. Fuck. Let me look up the name. I did watch this anime. The one that my mouse is on. I did watch that anime. I forgot the name of it. Hold up. Where is it? Where is it? I'm talking to the mic so you guys don't have like silence. Yeah, I do know what it is, bro. Where the hell is the name? Where's the name? Where is the name? Netflix did have it. I know they did. It's about Omnioji. I know that much. It has Omnioji. In the story, and it's really cool. Where is it? Shaman King. There we go. The original Shaman King. I'm gonna count the original and the new Shaman King together. Uh, Dragon Dragon Ball Z or Shaman King. Dragon Ball Z, just for the simple fact that I don't think very many people know about Shaman King. I love Shaman King, but we're gonna go with Dragon Ball Z. Naruto or Bleach? Ah, dang it, bro. Who made this bracket, bro? They really put Bleach and Naruto together. God damn it. Okay, sorry for the vibration. I hit my mic. We're gonna go with. They're both good, but Naruto has way too much filler. Bleach doesn't. It has less filler. Bleach has cooler designs and characters. The story, I think, is a little more compelling for Ichigo than it is for Naruto. I think there's a lot of cliches in Naruto, and the ending of Naruto with Kaguya was super bad. Uh, Bleach, including Thousand Year Blood War, gets even better. Despite where it ended with Aizen, and Aizen was a pretty good ending too. But yeah, the full like Ichigo is just I think I'm a lot more solid, and there's less holes to hit with or criticize Ichigo over than there is with Naruto's character. So I'm gonna go with Bleach. I think Bleach is slightly better than Naruto, and they're both really great shonen, and they're up there on my top. They're in my top five. But I actually do prefer Bleach over Naruto. I go back and rewatch Bleach more often than I do go back and rewatch Naruto. One Piece versus Hitman. One Piece gotta move on. Even if the anime has a lot of slow pacing, it's still pretty goddamn good, bro. I love One Piece. Um, Magi is gonna move on. You know what? I'm gonna go Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail's gonna move on, and it doesn't even matter who moves on from there because they're not gonna beat One Piece anyways. Black Clover versus Soul Eater. Black Clover. I think I enjoyed Black Clover a lot more. Bleach versus Dragon Ball. For me, Bleach beats out Dragon Ball. Um, again, like I said, One Piece was gonna beat out Fairy Tail. Uh, and Bleach was gonna beat out Black Clover, even though I think Black Clover took a lot of inspiration from Bleach, especially with the sword. Um, now we have two of the top three shonen anime. It shouldn't have been. I think Naruto should have been here, but Naruto was put up against Bleach, which kind of killed it. So I love them both. I think one thing that makes they're both really good shonen, but one thing that makes the One Piece anime so bad and that I think hurts it against Bleach, despite it beating the opponents it did before. The opponents that it beat before just weren't as strong as a story as One Piece. But these two stories are pretty strong, in my opinion. Bleach and One Piece are pretty strong. Bleach is better with world building and a lot more expansive. But in the pacing in Bleach is a lot better than the pacing in One Piece. Even though I think Bleach has like 3 or 4 filler arcs. Those filler arcs are still pretty fun and cool. They add more depth to the show, even if a lot of people don't like it. And you can skip them. You can skip them, and they're not that long to skip, so you still have tons to watch. With One Piece, there's a lot of things, and the pacing is a lot slower, and that hurts it. If One Piece didn't have slow pacing, it probably would have outbeat Bleach. But because Bleach has faster pacing, like it covers more chapters of the manga faster, and the filler arcs aren't that bad or boring like a lot of them in One Piece are. Bleach beats it. Bleach beats One Piece just because the One Piece anime, and I want to make this clear, the anime is too slowly paced. It's too slowly paced. Despite how great the story is, the slow pacing really goddamn hurts it a lot there. Uh, And Full Metal Alchemist beats out Bleach. I think Full Metal Alchemist, like I said, there has never been. There's a reason why Full Metal Alchemist has had the highest rating on my anime list for the longest time, and it was the number one anime, because when it comes to a full blown story, right? When it comes to a full blown story, a full blown shonen story, nothing comes closer to hitting perfection than Full Metal Alchemist. It had everything: the music, the characters, the fucking fight scenes were great, the drama. It was just perfect, man. The memes, a lot of the people like memes. Nothing was closer to hitting perfection than Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist was the closest anime for over 2 decades before, like, I think another anime overtook it at one point, and you know, for the longest time since Brotherhood came out, nothing has ever beaten uh Full Metal Alchemist's score ever in the hearts of people. That's how you know that it's a good story. So yeah, there you guys have it, the greatest shonen anime of all time. The award goes to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And there you guys have it. That's your winner. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun doing this tournament. I know that there's a lot of questionable things that I chose here that a lot of you might not agree with. And if you didn't agree with some of the choices, comment down below what you guys would have chosen over what. You know what I mean? And how you guys would have gotten to the final. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. And you know what we say as always on this channel? Adios.